This is Jenkins Farms.
Good morning. We'll give you a little update. We missed doing a video last week. I was going to kind of update you since then. So last Monday and Tuesday we were able to plant. We got a lot done. And then Tuesday evening, I believe it was, we ended up getting pretty much between 3 and 5 inches of rain on all of our fields. And then the rest of the week was kind of spotty rain after that and not a lot of drying. So basically it's Monday morning now and we're able to get back in the field. So I got some things to update you on, and I'm going to introduce a new game that we're going to be playing. I think it'll be kind of fun for those of you that are watching that aren't necessarily farmers, and maybe if you are farmers, you'll like it. I thought we'd start something called You Be the Farmer. And what I'll do is, I'll try to do it every week, but you know I'm pretty much a loser and don't always do what I say I'm going to do when it comes to things like that, to deadlines. So as best as I can, I'm going to try to post something every week where there's a couple of decisions that had to be made on the farm that week. Going to tell you a little bit about what they are, try to show you video of what we're trying to decide, let you make the decision, and then afterwards I'll tell you what I decided to do. There's so many things in farming that involve critical decisions, but it's not stuff that you can find in a textbook. You have to use your gut, you have to use your past experience, and some of it, or actually a lot of it's just kind of trial and error. So at the end of the video today, we're going to introduce that for the first time and let you see it. This morning we're just getting ready. We just finished filling up our tanks with chemical and the hoppers with seed. Chase is going to finish planting our last 100 acres of cotton here at McClellan before we move back to Jay to finish up our planting for the year. Dad, I'll show you what he's doing in a little bit. He's planting peanuts. We're hoping to finish everything up by Wednesday. We have some tropical mischief down in the Gulf that we're watching. As of this morning, it's a 70% chance of becoming a tropical storm or a hurricane. And as we all know, anytime there's any kind of tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico, all eyes are on it. Once it's in the Gulf, it can go anywhere. And there's a good chance that somehow it's going to affect your weather. So as of right now, rain chances are increasing toward the end of the week. So it's important that we try to, today's June 1st, it's important we try to get our crops planted as soon as possible in case that does come in here and provide a lot of rain, and then that would delay us several more days from being able to finish our planting. So gonna get Chase started this morning planting cotton. We'll get Daddy going planting peanuts, and I'm gonna be spraying behind both of them. So we've all got a lot to do today. I'll see you soon. Looking pretty good. Actually, we've got a whole lot of volunteer peanuts. We lost a lot of peanuts in this field last year when we dug them because it was just simply so dry. We couldn't get the plows in the ground and we sheared a lot off. But this is a new year. We're not going to have that problem this year, hopefully. Looking good. Let's check the moisture here. Oh yeah, plenty of moisture. Looking good. That's what we want. And there's the seed right there. About an inch deep. Just like we want it. So he'll get this filled. We'll get this 100 acres planted by a little after lunchtime and hopefully move to Jay and plant more. I'm gonna go help Dad get started with peanuts. I'll see you in a second. Alright, so we got Daddy planting peanuts. Got some messes here. I'll show them to you in just a second. So you think you want to be a farmer. Here we go. Here we are on our new game, our new event that we're going to try to do every week. I'm going to try to show you what we got going on here. Usually I try to show you and pick some of my prettiest stuff. Let me tell you, it's not always pretty when you're farming. So last week we were planting here. It was dry and it rained. We broke down that afternoon. We went to get parts. Then that evening it rained about an inch real fast here. So this is a wet natured field. It put us out of commission for a while. So it's basically a week later and we're planting. The field was a lot cleaner than this last week. I was planning on the following day spraying. We spray herbicide behind the planter to keep weeds from coming up. Well, I didn't get that done in time. And then it's been too wet to get in here otherwise. So I was coming to check it out. And let me show you what I found. Let's see what you would do. How would you handle this situation? The deal is you cannot spray the herbicide on the peanuts after they come up. It's put out after we plant, before they come up, and it keeps the weeds and grass from emerging. So once they're up, it'll kill the peanuts too. If we sprayed them once the peanuts were up, let me clarify that. So look at this row here. We call this cracking. They're cracking. If you look under there, there's your baby peanut fixing to come up. He's pushing the soil up. There's another one. But if you look around, here's one that's already emerged. There's one that's already emerged. There's one that's already emerged. But most of them have not emerged. So now's your choice, not your choice, now's your chance to get to be the farmer. How would you handle this? Would you spray it and not worry about the few that are already emerged? There's another one, see? We'd kill him. Or would you worry more about the weeds? Or would you use a different herbicide that you can spray once the peanuts are up, but it won't do quite as good a job? So now's your chance to be the farmer. What would you do? How would you handle this? Some more background. It's pretty late. If we were to spray it and kill a lot of them and end up with a poor stand, it's pretty late to plant peanuts. Seed costs are, what, about $115, $125 an acre that you would have to pay again. And they're in short supply. We probably couldn't get the variety that we needed to replant this. So think about it a minute. How would you handle this? What would you do? You be the farmer. So we're walking down some rows of cotton. And the question here is going to be to replant or not to replant. I kind of show you the whole field. And I don't know how good you can see it on here, but if you look across the field, it looks pretty good up on that side of the field. You can see little baby cotton coming up. Here's a row. There you can see a little cotton just walking across the rows, walking up and down the rows to try to give you a picture of what we've got to decide with. Plant or not to replant. So there's several rows where it's not a good stand at all, but it's better than it is right here. To replant or not to replant. You can probably hear the wind. It's hard to see because it's such a big field. I know you can't see. Well, there's some trees. You can see the wind blowing. I'll kick a little dust up. So you can see it's kind of blowing in that direction. Right over there is a fence row, and on the other side of that fence row is my neighbor's crop. And the spray that I have to spray today will kill anything that's up. So my dilemma is, I just scratched down. These peanuts are about probably 2 days from emerging. Do we spray it and just try to be very careful and not get any on the neighbor's crop? Do we wait till another day? There's about a 50% chance of rain, so it could rain and be too wet, and then they'd be up before I get a chance to spray them. So how do we handle this? To spray or not to spray? Possibly risk hurting his crop to make mine better. Don't worry about it at all. Let's just go snapper fishing. How do we want to handle it? Make up your mind to spray or not to spray. So our options are, we could spray it like nothing happened, and probably it wouldn't hurt his crop. We could just leave the sprayer parked, wait till another day, but I've only got a couple of more days, so I could do it late one evening or early one morning, hopefully before the wind starts blowing. Or move about 15 miles or so from here and spray another field that doesn't have anything that it would hurt around it. So those are pretty much our options. Everything takes time, everything takes money. It takes money to move, it takes time to move. There's a chance I get moved to the next place and it comes a thunderstorm and rains me out. So do I just sit here and wait? Do I go ahead and spray it? Do I move somewhere else and spray somewhere else that's less sensitive? Make up your mind to spray or not to spray. All right, so let's see how you did on You Be the Farmer. So I've showed you 3 different scenarios that we've had to make decisions on, and each one are extremely important decisions that you can be dealing with how good or how bad you did on your decisions for the rest of the season. This early in the season, decisions you make last for a long time. So, as far as, do we go ahead and spray the peanuts or do we not spray the peanuts? So you saw in the video that they were already beginning to emerge. They're already beginning to crack the ground and come through the surface of the soil and emerge as plants. And I told you that the herbicide we were going to use would kill whatever plants were up. I estimate that probably about 30% of the peanuts were beginning to crack the surface. So we have potential, if we went ahead and sprayed it, to kill 30% of the peanuts that were there. As late as it is, we don't have time to fool around with that. I don't want to lose 30% of my stand. I can't afford to lose 30% of the stand. So what I did was I changed the herbicide type. Instead of having to have it sprayed before the peanuts emerged, I changed a different type of herbicide to where we can spray it after the peanuts have emerged. and I'll go ahead and be doing that. And the only thing, that's my number 2 choice. My number 1 choice was the way I was planning on doing it before it rained us out and we weren't able to get in there in a timely manner. So now I'm gonna be playing catch up a little bit, and that's never as good as being Johnny on the spot with your applications. So if you chose to change herbicide types, that's how I decided to do it. If you didn't, you might be right and I might be wrong. We'll never know, but we're going to go with changing herbicide types for that one. All right, some more fun with You Be the Farmer. Let's see how you did. How would you have handled the replanting the cotton? Did you decide to replant it or not to replant it? I'll tell you what we chose. After much looking around, scouting the field, driving from one side to the other, walking around, I have decided that we're just going to replant a part of the field. There was by far not enough of a stand there to leave. We were going to have to do something, so what we will do is we'll put more seed in the planter. We'll go right back over the exact row, go right down through the exact row, and we'll put more seed in the ground. The neat thing about that is usually when you do that, you don't kill the plants that did come up, so they'll still be able to continue growing, and then we'll just put more seed in the ground and fill in the gaps. So if you chose to partially replant the field, or touch it up as we call it, you chose the same way I did. I think we're making the best possible decision. There's no way I would go in there. There's plenty of places where the stand is good, so there's no way I would tear that up this late in the year and start from scratch. So we're just going to go add some more seed in, and they'll come up. The conditions are much better now than when we planted that field. There's plenty of moisture, there's plenty of heat, we've got plenty of seed, so we're going to replant it. We're going to touch it up, and in a month or so you'll never know anything happened. All right, our final thing on You Be the Farmer is, how did we handle the day the wind was blowing so hard, as far as did we spray that day or not spray that day? The wind was blowing about between 15 and 20 miles an hour that day. You saw when I kicked up the dust, it was blowing toward my neighbor's crop, so I made the decision to not spray that day. I'll tell you the story about how it went. We drove the sprayer about 15 miles to another field. As soon as I pulled in the field, I got a text that Dad had broken down with a peanut planter, so I had to go. I'm the head mechanic. Had to go work on that. I didn't get to spray any that day. We spent the rest of the day working on the planter. That night, it came an unexpected thunderstorm and rained an inch. So where I was going to spray, the next day, I didn't get to spray because it was too wet. It was still windy. So the following morning, the conditions were more appropriate to spray. So I drove the sprayer without ever having used it. I drove it back the 15 miles. So basically I drove 30 miles for nothing, the way the weather worked out. But I ended up spraying the field when there were much better conditions. There's no worry about hurting the neighbor's crop or anything like that. We still got it sprayed right before the peanuts came up, and all is good. So if you chose to wait till better conditions, that's how we chose to handle it. I hope you like this. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to give you some ideas of some of just the everyday decisions we have to make kind of on the fly to make things work out on the farm. I think it'll be fun for you. I think it's something you can learn from, and I look forward to sharing our experiences with you. In the meantime, please like our video, subscribe to our channel. I hope that the next video I make, I'm talking about being completely through with planting, and I hope we're not talking about what a hurricane did to our crops, as there's a storm out in the Gulf that's trying to build up right now. So till next time, I appreciate it. See you soon.